Hey, check it out, dude. Today we are playing the Aquaman. So, hi guys, Arindam here. And that was my best 3-second imitation of the Californian surfer accent. And in this video, we are going to be testing out how fast a player character can actually swim in ARK Survival Evolved. If you want to know how fast a player character can actually run, you can consider looking at my previous video in which I dressed as the Flash and ran this course several times to eventually found out how fast a max level 190 character can be. And we were like twice as fast as a Gallimimus. Right. So in this video, we're going to be doing what Aquaman does, that is swimming. And we're going to be running several different tests. So we're going to be seeing how fast a level 1 character is and how fast say a character with 189 level ups in oxygen is. We will also be comparing between oxygen and movement speed, which one actually gives higher amount of speed. So we're going to be doing one run with full movement speed underwater and one run with full oxygen underwater, and then we're going to balance out oxygen and movement speed equally and see whether that one is faster or not. This should assuage all concerns about which one should you level up if you want to be a crazy Olympic swimmer. In fact, later on, we are also going to be doing tests with Ichthyosaurus, Mosasaurus, Plesiosaurus, and even Alpha Mosasaurus to see how fast our player character can be with respect to those things. And to top it off, we're going to actually end the video by doing an run from top to bottom of the island map and see how fast the fastest swimmer in ARK can be. To actually do this test, I have constructed a 190. I have actually constructed a 190 length swimming course from this side over here through the oil fields to that side over there. And we're going to be running this course several different times to see how much difference oxygen, movement speed, scuba gear, the Tek Chestpiece, all these things make to our swimming speed. And also how fast we will be relative to the fastest aquatic and oceanic mounts in the game. So with that being said, let me start. Okay, so in the first test, we're going to be testing out the default character speed. That is, no scuba, no Tek Chestpiece, and 100% in each of oxygen and movement speed. This is the default speed, and we're going to start off this thing in 3, 2, 1, and go. This thing is incredibly slow, so I might even have to speed up this video a bit because otherwise you're all going to just fall asleep.
You have lost the match.
Feels like an eternity has passed away, right? Done. Okay, so the first test felt like an eternity to finish. So this time we're going to be upgrading our default character with some scuba gear. This should increase its speed by around 2.5 times. So let's see. We're going to be starting off this one in 3, 2, 1, and go. Clearly, it is significantly faster than the previous one. Well, we are very near to the finish line, and as expected, this is 2.5 times as fast as the previous one. So in 3, 2, 1, we are
Lost the
done.
lead.
Okay, for test number 3, instead of using Scuba, let's see how fast you can actually swim if you have a Tek Chestpiece equipped. So with the Tek Chestpiece and by pressing the shift key, you should be able to sprint and use the Chestpiece's jetpack. And let's see how fast that is versus Scuba. So we're going to be starting this countdown in 3, 2, 1 and go. Okay, I don't think I need to fast forward this video because this guy is significantly more faster even compared to Scuba. And we have nearly reached the end and
Double
done.
kill.
So now comes the fun part, the one you wanted to actually see. So we have tested Scuba, we have tested Chestpiece. Now let's see what happens if you were to put all of your 189 level ups into oxygen. So let's first level this guy first. Okay, that is an unexpected lag. And we are currently at nearly 4000 oxygen, maxed out on oxygen. So we are going to now see how fast max oxygen plus scuba gear is in 3, 2, 1 and go. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at the speed. You are kidding me, right? Okay, I don't think any Mosasaur or an Ichthyosaur can even bother chasing us. Now this is true Aquaman speed. So, and we are done.
Triple kill.
Alright, so in the previous test you saw how blisteringly fast we were with maxed oxygen. Now we're going to see the same test run with maximum movement speed. Okay, this is going to take a bit of time it seems. So now we are at maximum movement speed. Well, not quite. We can still have focal chilli, swamp fever and all those things. That we are also going to test by the way. But this time let's see how maximum movement speed is compared to oxygen. And we are going to do this run in 3, 2, 1 and go. Okay, I'm not exactly sure but I have a feeling this is pretty close to the oxygen speed also. It's already going like incredibly fast. Done.
Mega kill.
Alright, so right now, this is the one that you really want to also see. What I have done is, we had 189 level ups and we have divided that 189 points equally amongst oxygen and movement speed. Well, almost equally because I have put 94 points into movement speed and 95 points into oxygen. Well, sort of equal. And we also have scuba gear. Now we are going to see how fast this player character can swim if you have balanced out your points between oxygen and movement speed. My reasoning for this particular test is kind of like in mathematics, where if you have a profit function which takes in two input variables x and y, and the two variables x and y are more or less equal in terms of how much they contribute to the profit, then in general the intersecting point between the curves of x and y should give you the best possible result. So if I were to have x and y, in this case oxygen and movement speed, leveled up proportionally to each other, then that should give me the best possible result, and that is what we're going to test out in this particular test. And by the way, I don't know about you, but mathematics is my favorite subject. I would have gotten a PhD if I had not become a developer. Anyway, so that's a different story. So we're going to be starting off this countdown in 3, 2, 1, and go. Yep, I was right. I was absolutely right. I think this is faster than doing it only on oxygen or only on your movement speed. And I believe these two things are done.
Unstoppable.
I believe oxygen and your movement speed might be actually multiplicative in nature instead of being additive, and that is why in this case the multiplication of the oxygen speed factor and the movement speed factor actually produced a significantly better amount than this. It's kind of like, if oxygen contributes 3 and movement speed contributes 3, both of them in equal proportion, then additive will be 3 plus 3 equals to 6, and multiplicative will be 3 into 3 equals to 9. So obviously 9 is more than 6, and thus I think this one is the fastest. But hey, let's now move on to the next test. Okay, we are going to increase the speed of our Aquaman even more. So we are going to be running that same test again, but this time we are going to use Scuba. We're going to have this amount of points, and we are also going to use a Tek Chestpiece. So let's see how fast or how much the Chestpiece's jump jet actually boosts the speed of our character. And we're going to be seeing whether the jump jet actually helps increase the speed or not. And we can compare this one with the default level 1 character with the chest piece to see whether the additional oxygen and movement speed and Scuba actually helped the jump jet in any way. So we're going to be starting off this test in 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's be honest, I have a feeling that the jump jet speed, as you can see here, is slower than my previous 189 2 speeds and the 95-94 speed also. And also, like, the jump jet's
Double
time,
kill.
I believe once you activate the jump jet, you actually ignore your speed coming from the oxygen as well as the movement speed as well as the Scuba. So it's kind of like jump jet. If you activate it, it will ignore Scuba and these two things, which also means that the jump jet speed is probably slower than the speed of this character without the jump jet, which is crazy, right? Okay, now we are going to do some other tests also, and we are going to now see how the fastest character or the fastest runner in ARK can also swim. So we're going to be doing this thing, and we are going to be adding focal chili and swamp fever and lamprey poison all in one. So let's find out in the next test. Okay, now we are going to do something really funny. We are going to make a hybrid of an Aquaman and a Flash. So we have our Aquaman right here, and we are going to now make him both the fastest swimmer as well as the fastest runner. So we are going to pop in the focal chili first. Then we are going to take aggro from this diseased lich, and it is now feeding on my blood. We need to find the lamprey which was just here a moment ago. Here it is. And now both of them are piggybacking on my chest and looking outrageous. Just look at them. Just look at them. Look at them. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to use GCM. Then decrease this, and we're going to have this problem, unfortunately. Anyway, so now we're going to go underwater and we're going to see how fast this guy is. This might well be the fastest guy on ARK, and this might well be the true Aquaman. I don't think Aquaman ever had bowel movements like this. Okay, so I'm going to finding it a bit hard to control my laughter now. So this is it. the fastest swimmer on Ark Survival Evolved merged with the fastest runner on Ark Survival Evolved, and both of them are, I don't know what to say. So we have this much movement speed, we have focal chilli, we have both of them ready, and let's start in 3, 2, 1, and go. That's how you drop mines from behind.
Holy shit.
Done. So I believe this might be the fastest swimmer on Ark, at least if you are crazy enough to do this on unboosted settings. And now we are going to see how the fastest player and the fastest pooper is going to compare itself with compare himself with, say, the fastest aquatic creatures on Ark, like Ichthyosaurs, Mosasaurs, Plesiosaurs, and uh, well, we need to do something about this. Okay, well, I'll be back. Alright, so now we have seen how fast a player character can be. Let us compare this player with the fastest aquatic creatures you will find. The first of them being a level 1 Ichthyosaurus. I force spawned it and then force tamed it, and it is supposed to have exactly 100% movement speed. Now it is actually pretty difficult. It was actually pretty difficult for me to position it correctly because these aquatic creatures, they do not have a uh, back button, so they cannot move backwards, and positioning them exactly on the same direction to this path was difficult. So I had to use ghost, turn around inside the rock and come here. But hey, let's see how fast an Ichthyosaurus is. We're going to be using the sprint of the Ichthyosaurus, and we're going to see how fast the sprint of an Ichthyosaurus is, because generally that is what you're going to do. So we are going to be running an Ichthyosaurus level 1 sprint in 3, 2, 1, and go. So already pretty fast. But still nowhere near our particular survivor.
You have lost the match.
And it's done. Well, it did get stuck in this part, but that is okay. I can compensate for that because that was indeed the finish line anyway. So now we are going to be testing out the higher tier creature, but we will also test out the Ichthyosaurus' most frequent rival, the Manta Run. Okay, in this test, we are going to be testing out a level 1 force-tamed Manta Ray with 100% movement speed. The Manta is the closest rival to the Ichthyosaurus for taming, and it has slightly higher movement speed. Unfortunately, the Manta has very bad turning radius on a vertical plane. That is why people generally prefer the Ichthyosaur over the Manta. So we're going to be testing out the Manta's sprint speed in 3, 2, 1, and go. So Manta is kind of like the ideal mount for our player character. It actually looks like a giant organic skateboard. The kind of thing my dude will actually work with. So
Last place.
done. Okay, so now we're going to be testing out a level 1 Plesiosaur. If you are out in the oceans and currently are in the deep oceans, then the Plesiosaur you're going to be finding out is the fastest creature that can target you and kill you. They are pretty fast, and they are probably the fastest creature you're going to be taming anyway. Slightly faster than probably even a Mosasaur. So let's see how a level 1 Plesiosaur with 100% movement speed and this impeccably perfect green that is perfect for any advertisement of Colgate or any other toothpaste is going to fare against an Ichthyosaur or even our Aquaman character. So we're going to be running this test slightly above ground because this guy is simply too big and I don't want it to collide with anything else. So most of our body is currently outside, and our center of mass is actually directly above the main portion where we start the race. So we're going to be starting off this race in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Monster kill.
And done. So now we're going to be testing out the level 1 Mosasaurus, the second most powerful creature on the ocean, or is it the most powerful? I don't know. You have to decide between the Mosa and the Tusoteuthis. At least this guy is very fast, and its speed is actually pretty similar to a Plesiosaur. So the difference in speed between Plesio and Mosa is almost minuscule. So you will hardly notice the difference, even though the Plesio might be slightly faster. The thing to worry about is that the Mosasaur is huge and it is very powerful, and it also looks very scary, much more than a Plesiosaur. So uh, we would want to know how fast a Mosasaur at level 1 or default movement speed can be, so that we should have an idea if our Aquaman character can actually beat it. Obviously it can, but still, let's see. So we have our Mosa here with 100% movement speed. I am going to check my compass, and the compass is pointing almost exactly to the north, which means we are correct. The reason for the extra precaution is that the Mosasaurus kind of swims kind of like a snake, like going up, well, going sideways like this, like a proper snake animation. That's how any Mosasaurus actually behaves, not only this one. And well, let's see how fast this one is versus the PCO also. So we're going to be doing this part in, well, pointing slightly up. We're going to be doing this in 3, 2, 1, and go. Pretty fast. It's already pretty fast. And
Ludicrous
done.
kill.
It's probably almost equal to the PCO in speed, so you will hardly notice any difference. But the thing about the Mosa is it's very difficult to turn. So I actually had great difficulty positioning the Mosa exactly above the gate like that with the direction properly, because clearly I cannot use my ladder to correct my direction. I mean, if I'm riding a Mosa, of course, because which Mosa would actually be climbing anyway? You would require a gigantic ladder for that anyway. So yeah, that was the Mosa, and we have one more test to go. We need to see how an Alpha Mosa actually fares, because Alpha Mosa is probably the fastest enemy creature that you will find in the deep oceans, and it's faster than a normal Mosa. So we're going to be testing out that part too. Okay, now we're going to test out the Big Daddy, the Alpha Mosasaur, a hulking mass of destruction, the largest, most powerful creature that you will find in ARK's oceans, and certainly the most frightening. Just look at the size of the Aquaman versus the Mosasaur skull. So the Alpha Mosa even makes the regular Mosasaur looks like a little baby by comparison. Okay. This guy is probably humiliated, so it's just looking like that. So in the wild, except for the Alpha T-Rex, uh, the wild dinos, they always use their walking or their slower swimming animation. They are not going to be using sprinting, so only the Alpha T-Rex actually uses their running or sprinting animation, which means that for this test I am actually going to be doing the Alpha Mosasaur with its default or slower swim speed and not with its sprint. We need to find out how fast an Alpha Mosasaur is in the wild compared to our own swimmer. And well, this guy is actually pretty difficult to maneuver, so it took me a lot of time just to place it correctly over this gate. And this guy is like huge. I had problems with the regular Mosa or PC, and this one is too much. So we have the compass clearly set towards the north. That is how it's going to be. And we are going to be starting this countdown in 3, 2, 1, and go. It's going pretty fast. It's going pretty fast. I definitely think this guy is probably even faster than a Ichthyosaur or a Manta while sprinting. And
Ultra kill.
done. So, this guy was pretty fast actually. This is just the walking, and now I'm going to be showing you the sprinting. I won't do a test for it, but here is the sprinting. It is fast. If it starts sprinting, I mean, if any mod is out there that is going to enable the sprinting animations for all these creatures, then this guy is very fast. Very fast. Thankfully, we don't have it. Otherwise, there would be no way for us to actually evade this guy out in the deep oceans. And well, it can actually chomp an entire plesiosaur in two if it wants to. Look at the size difference between a plesiosaur and this. And these mantas, they can straight go inside the this gigantic what would you say, this would be like a Soviet nuclear submarine, judging by it how big this guy is. So anyway, that was it for all for the creature and the player test. I'm going to be now comparing the results, and there is one more test I'm going to be doing. So with the Aquaman at its fastest swimming speed, we're going to be doing a run from the top to the bottom of the ocean and see how much time it takes for Aquaman to traverse the island maps oceans. That will be a nice thing to do. So okay, so this is the moment you have been waiting for. So we have been running lots of tests and we have been running it on a fairly decent sized course, but you don't want to see an Olympic swimmer. What you want to see is a guy who actually can traverse the entire English Channel from England to France. You know, the big one. So we are going to be doing just that, and we are going to be doing that with the fastest swimmer you can possibly materialize in Ark Survival Evolved. So before that, we are going to be first. I'm going to be first showing you the entire course. So we are going to be starting off at the extreme south over here. Let's see the coordinate here, and we are going to be doing a full swimming run from this side past our existing race course, past the mosh pit, past the glaciers and Kairukus, past the oil fields, and finally to this location. Now, and we are going to see how much time it takes for the fastest swimmer to traverse an ocean's length in Ark's default map, that is the island. And to do that, first we need to dress up properly. So we need to apply our focal chili and we need to get ourselves infected. So first thing to do, turn off creative mode. Then do this. Okay? Then have focal chili. Hello. Yes, Aquaman has parasites now. Aquaman has parasites all over his dude chest. And we are now going to re-enable this, and we are also going to re-enable this. Okay, now we are exactly here. Can we do one thing? Can we do this? Let's see. Okay, it still does not stop the timer, so we're going to have to do it fast. So we're going to be starting off this race in 3, 2, 1 and go. I think we are going in the straight direction, so we don't have to worry too much about uh, going astray if we were to accidentally do something we should not be doing. So even the fastest swimmer is going to take a bit of time to cross the island map.
First blood. Double kill. Triple kill. Multi-kill. Mega kill. Ultra kill. Monster kill. Ludicrous kill. Killing spree. Rampage. Dominating. Unstoppable. Godlike. Wicked sick. Holy shit.
Well, I guess we are done. That was the longest swim that I think it's ever possible in ARK, and that is certainly we genuinely created a Guinness Book of World Records of sort with the amount of fecal matter we are dropping in the ocean. If pollution was ever a thing in ARK Survival Evolved, I would definitely be going to jail for this, because we are just trashing the entire ocean up with this. So yeah, that was it. I also need to show you the different results, which are this. Okay, you can see the results clearly. So yeah, that was it for this really fun video. I hope to see you soon in the next video, because I think I have a lot of other experimental tests still to go. And well, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please drop a like, subscribe and hit the bell notification. Thank you.